It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, on SABC3. Now, designers' inspiration can come from far and wide, and as seen in some of our finest designers of menswear collections here in South Africa. In fact, take a closer look at these Eastern-inspired looks for winter 2015. Popular magazine fashion director Chu Suwannapha turned heads with his Asian-infused winter collection, which paid homage to some of the designer's personal style influences.
My inspiration for this collection is from South African street style, and all my collection, even from now on, is going to be all about celebrating Africa. I'm going to be working with African prints. The whole thing is about East meets South. I call it with a Japanese twist in there, and I bring origami. The whole thing is about happy, about love, about freedom. That's why I work with birds, butterfly, and wings. I'm going to use lots of ethnic influences, and the way I'm doing it, I'm going to make traditional fabric or traditional trend look very cool, quirky, and current. For me, it's about having fun with the fabric, not like using it as a traditional fabric. Each or single piece is going to be very basic, you know. I mean, for menswear, you can't do something avant-garde. You can do conceptual, but how you're going to do it. But for me, I just keep it fun, keep it casual, keep it cool. And you know, South African kids, they're cool.
Conceptually inspired by his son's karate uniform, designer Craig Port looked to Japanese culture in the styling of this collection.
Tonight's collection was definitely inspired by the ancient and the modern Japanese culture. I've always been fascinated with the Japanese way of life. You know, when I was going into the silhouettes and everything, I looked into what the ancient Japanese were wearing and now modern Japanese. So I revisited that, but with a whole new modern futuristic edge. And again, I went back to black because I think black is back again. And I just loved the play on textures, you know. So it was very exciting to work with silks, with silk velour, with Duchess satin silk, and then to play around with fur, faux fur, zips, leather, to get that texture and just to layer it a bit more. I think menswear always has to be wearable. I think that's the most important thing. Functional and performance clothing, because I think people are tired of just having a look. And a lot of the performance fabrics that I use, they're called activewear, the old activewear, but that's actually performance wear. And I think that is also represented in Japanese culture, because the modern Japanese, they're so far ahead and they've got such a refined culture and so futuristic and so modern.
Front row fashion connoisseurs were quick to compliment our South African style, which has a global appeal.
It's an eclectic mix of fashion, of fun, all these incredible elements of color, the forms, the shapes. It's a celebration of Africa. It's really gorgeous. The top trend, I would say, is very much the silhouette. It's not about big, baggy. It's more about tapered, tailored, and then using pieces that give volume. You don't want to overstyle anything. You don't want to give it too much. I think what we saw this evening was a great mix of a celebration. It was, you know, out there, but at the same time it worked together because it all matched. The colors were thought through, the shapes were thought through. It has style.
Well, actually, I'm quite surprised. This is my first fashion show I've ever seen in Africa. And there's just such a genuine touch to everything. For me, it was genuine African, but had this little touch of Japanese influence there, and I thought it was very unique.
Exhibiting fashion with a fusion of cultures was a triumph realized by our local menswear collections.